If everything feels like it's on hold, this message is for you. I have been having coming up in my reality lately, and I have seen other people as well feel like right now we're kind of at a pause, that there isn't much action kind of happening in our lives. And it's causing us to go from move, move, move all the time to kind of slowing down and reflecting. And it's really difficult because, especially if you're like me, right? And if you can identify with this, where you feel like all the time that you just always have to kind of be doing stuff. Maybe your manifestations have been coming quickly. Maybe, you're doing stuff in business and relationships in your job. And then all of a sudden, like I said, it comes to a halt. And it can feel incredibly frustrating. But what if we took that frustration that we feel and kind of turn that, right? And flip that and realize that we can take that as something being sacred. So, what do I mean by taking something to where we have to pause and kind of sit back and let it kind of go by to it being sacred? Meaning that we have to kind of surrender to the flow at this point. I feel like when we are having things slow down in our life, it is a true invitation to pause, to reflect, to go within, and to maybe meditate more, to maybe take a breather for once, to rest, to rejuvenate. And if you live in Western society, many times we are told that rest is kind of for suckers, right? You shouldn't rest. You shouldn't be doing that at all. But rather, that is exactly what we need to be doing. Because when we're able to rest, we are able to bounce back into a much more powerful version of ourselves, into a happier version of ourselves, into a confident version of ourselves. Have you ever looked at maybe you as well, athletes, right? Or somebody that does a lot of strength training or is a runner? Do you think that, for the most part, that every single day it's just full on training? No, some of these people take rest days, right? And they take rest days because they know that their body needs it. They know that if they take a rest, their bodies are able to bounce back much quicker than than if they weren't. Because over time, if we don't take the rest and we don't take the reflection, we begin to kind of wear ourselves down, right? We're not optimal in the way that we should be functioning. We aren't moving at a pace that makes sense. We aren't connecting to the Most High, to God, or whatever you believe in, because we have this now fogginess kind of going on. We have a hard time remembering things. We can't connect. We're just trying to make it through day after day after day. And you have to also understand that rest and relaxation, rejuvenation, they are part of manifestation as well. And what do I mean by that? When we are able to go and relax finally, we can have more information kind of come to flood to us, because you would take that time to truly sit in the present moment, to truly sit in meditation, and to go within and work out the things that need to be worked on. We are then able to alchemize the feelings and the emotions that keep coming up for us. And we are able to kind of move through it. And that's another good point. It's just that if we're always on the go, a lot of times we cannot process our emotions in a timely manner. We are not able to really sit down with ourselves and have these emotions move through us. Instead, we kind of push it down within, right? And we push it down, push it down, and push it down. And, that can come as an eruption, that can come as, being apathetic towards life, or just feeling numb or disassociating. Whereas when we can rest, we can now reflect and we can now move those emotions really through us. And as a human being, we are an emotional human being. We are meant to feel our emotions. So being able to do that is very important. It also teaches us that staying present and being right here, right now is incredibly important to our manifestation. Like I was saying, when we're able to then relax, we're able to connect to the Most High, to our higher self, to the universe, whatever have you. And we are able to then really sit there and know what we really want out of life. I don't know about you, but when I'm in the state of constantly going, constantly moving, doing, whatever have you, I don't really have time to think. I'm just really just kind of going through the motions of life. And yes, that's a good thing, but a bad thing too, right? Because I also don't process emotions. I'm in a state of fight or flight. My cortisol levels are through the roof, and it just doesn't make sense to constantly live in that kind of life. And when we're able to really just listen for and really understand and listen for divine timing, we are then able to bring more of that within our lives. And we're able to alchemize the chaos going on the outside into something more peaceful. And I don't know about you, but I'm somebody who wants to live a more peaceful life. I do not like living in utter chaos. I don't like moving in a way that's go, go, go all the time anymore. It just isn't for me. And we are being called as a human race right now to really start living more in the present moment, to meditate and to relax and reflect and really rejuvenate ourselves and live in a state of calm, live in a state of peace, and living in a way that is according to God's plan. We weren't meant to be these busybodies that were meant to do this and that at all times. We were meant to live in a place where our nervous system can feel calm, where we can feel more in alignment, and where we can connect and be who we are right here in the present moment and safe and trusting in ourselves. So I hope you found this message to be helpful, and I will see you in the next one, my friends.